When you get older, some people's homes can leave you feeling completely drained. I found this out the hard way. After spending time with certain folks, I'd come home feeling exhausted, frustrated, and just off. I don't want that happening to you. That's why today I'm going to tell you about 5 specific types of homes you should think twice about visiting. Not because there's anything wrong with the houses themselves. It's what happens inside them that matters. So, are you ready to learn which homes might be secretly draining your energy? Number 1. The always gossiping neighbor. Let's talk about that neighbor who always has the latest news about everyone on the block. You know the type. They're constantly sharing stories about who's getting divorced, whose kids are in trouble, or who's having money problems. Now you might think it's just harmless chatter. But here's what I learned. Every time I left their house, I felt weirdly heavy, like I was carrying everyone's problems home with me. And then it hit me. If they're telling me about everyone else's private business, what are they saying about me when I leave? Think about it. Each time you sit there nodding along to their gossip, you're getting pulled into a web of drama you don't need in your life. Your time's too precious for that. But hey, if you genuinely like spending time with them, I've got a little trick that works wonders. When they start spilling the neighborhood tea, just switch gears. Ask them about their garden. Talk about that new book you're reading. Share some good news about the community center. You'll be surprised how quickly the conversation can turn around. Number 2. The constantly complaining relative. You've got that relative, the one who starts every phone call with a sigh. The moment you walk through their door, it begins. Their health problems, money troubles, neighbor issues, one complaint rolls into the next. Here's something you probably haven't realized. When they're venting, they don't actually want your advice. I used to spend hours suggesting solutions, trying to help them see the bright side. But nothing changed. Why? Because they're not looking to fix anything. They just want someone to hear their list of problems. And you know what? That doesn't make you a bad person if you can't handle being their go-to listener anymore. Your kindness matters, but it shouldn't cost you your peace of mind. So, next time you visit, try this. When the complaints start flowing, check your watch and say, "Oh, I can only stay for 30 minutes today." Or bring up something specific. Ask about their grandkids. Mention a funny TV show. Share a happy memory. If they keep circling back to complaints, that's your cue to wrap things up. Number 3. The home of the control freak. Ever visit someone's house and suddenly feel like you're 5 years old again? You sit down, and before you know it, they're telling you how to hold your coffee cup, how to arrange your scarf, which chair you should sit in. Oh no, don't sit there, the light's not good for your eyes. I had a friend like this. Every visit turned into a lesson about how I should run my life. She'd rearrange my plate while I ate, tell me which medications I should take, even tried to plan my weekly schedule. She meant well, sure, but each time I left her house I felt smaller, less capable, like I couldn't trust my own judgment anymore. Here's what nobody tells you about getting older. Your independence becomes more precious, not less. You've spent decades learning what works for you. You don't need someone swooping in to reorganize your choices. So, what's the fix? Meet them at a coffee shop instead, or the park, somewhere they can't control every detail. Keep your visits short, an hour tops, and if they start their controlling routine, just smile and say, "Thanks, but I've got this." Number 4. The friend who is always negative. Step into their house and you'll feel it right away. The air gets heavy. The room darkens. Nothing's ever good enough, right enough, bright enough. I had a friend who turned every silver lining into a rain cloud. "Beautiful day, isn't it?" I'd say. "Yeah, but it'll probably rain tomorrow," she'd answer. At first, I didn't notice how these visits changed me. But driving home one day, I caught myself thinking her thoughts. Good news about my grandson? Well, he'll probably struggle in college. New restaurant in town. Bet it won't last 6 months. Here's something that might surprise you. Spending time with negative people is like catching a cold. Their gloomy outlook sneaks into your mind, colors your thoughts, dims your day, and no matter how much you care about them, you can't lift them up by letting them pull you down. Try this next time. When they start down that dark path, pull out a photo from that beach trip you took together. Remember that funny story about your kids. Share some good news. If they keep turning every light switch off, well, maybe it's time to protect your own sunshine. Number 5. The home of the overly competitive person. You walk into their house and boom, the Olympics begin. Not the fun kind. Their grandson got into 3 Ivy League schools. Their garden won first prize. Their retirement account? Through the roof. And somehow, your life achievements start shrinking with every humble brag they drop. I used to play this game. Mention my daughter's teaching award, they'd counter with their son's CEO promotion. Share a photo from my beach vacation. They'd whip out pictures from their Mediterranean cruise. It got exhausting, keeping score in a game I never signed up to play. One day I realized, real friends celebrate your wins without needing to one-up them. They don't turn your coffee date into a scoreboard. They don't measure friendship by who's winning at life. So what can you do? Keep it simple. Skip the updates about your accomplishments. Talk about neutral stuff. The weather, that new coffee shop downtown, the latest episode of your favorite show. Or better yet, spend time with people who light up when you share good news instead of trying to outshine it. When I started paying attention to how I felt after leaving certain homes, everything changed. It's simple, really. Our time matters more than ever now. Why spend it in places that leave us feeling drained? Think about it. Those homes we talked about today, the gossip hub, the complaint corner, the control tower, the negativity nest, they all have one thing in common. You walk out feeling worse than when you walked in. But here's what I want you to remember. You've earned the right to choose where you spend your time. Your peace matters, your energy matters, your joy matters. Now I'm curious, which of these homes felt familiar to you? Drop a 1 in the comments if you've got a gossip neighbor, 2 if you've got that complaining relative, 3 for the control expert, or 4 for the negative friend. And hey, if you know someone who needs to hear this, maybe they're struggling with one of these situations right now, share this video with them. Sometimes knowing we're not alone makes all the difference. Hit that like button if this helped you see things differently. Subscribe for more real talk about living your best life as you age. I'll catch you in the next video.